Hello students, today we'll start with the topic that is the human heart. So you know that human heart, it is present here. Then this also figure you can see. First of all, we'll see the origin of human heart. Origin, heart is mesodermal in origin. Okay. Then we shall see the second one, position of the heart. It is in the middle of the thoracic cavity. Can you see? This is the thoracic cavity. Cage. It is for this space. In a space, it is called as a mediastinum between the two lungs. So these are the lungs, and in the middle it is a heart present. Okay. Next, heart. It is a hollow. This part. It is a hollow muscular conical organ about the size of one's own fist, with broad base and narrow apex tilted towards left. Then we shall see the morphology. Morphology is the shape of the heart. It is conical, color is reddish brown. It measures about 12 centimeters in length, 9 centimeters in breadth, width, and weighs about 250 to 300 grams. Then next is the wall of the heart. Now the heart wall is composed of 3 layers: pericardium, myocardium, and endocardium. Now suppose this is the heart. Now 3 layers you can see, okay, here in this figure. So first one is the pericardium. This outermost layer, it is called as a pericardium. Middle layer is myocardium, and the inner layer is the endocardium. Okay. Then the next one, first we shall see now pericardium, that is the outermost layer, this one, pericardium. Now this pericardium, heart is enclosed in a double layered protective sac, peritoneum, it is called as a pericardium. It consists of 2 layers. First is the fibrous pericardium. Second one, it is a serous pericardium. Now this fibrous pericardium, it is the outer layer made up of tough inelastic fibrous connective tissue. Okay. Here in this figure you can see the fibrous pericardium. Okay. This is the fibrous pericardium. And the second one, this one is the serous pericardium. Okay. Then now this serous pericardium, it is a smooth, moist inner layer made up of outer pericardial layer and inner visceral layer. Then the next one is the parietal layer. Okay. Now this parietal layer, can you see this? Pericardial cavity. This is fibrous layer. Now this one, it is called as a parietal layer here. It forms the inner linings of the fibrous pericardium, whereas the visceral layer or epicardium, it adheres to the heart, forming its outermost covering. In between the parietal and visceral layer, serous pericardium is present. It is filled with a space which is called as a pericardial fluid. Okay. So this pericardial cavity, here you can see this cavity. In this cavity, this fluid, it is present, pericardial fluid. The next, heart wall. The wall of heart, it is of 3 layers: outer epicardium, middle myocardium, and inner is endocardium. Now we shall see the first one, that is outer epicardium. Now in this figure you can see this. Epicardium means, you can see here pericardium. Okay. Then it is composed of single layer flat epithelial cells called the mesothelium. Middle layer is myocardium. You can see here this myocardium. This is the middle layer. Okay. This is pericardium, outermost layer, and the middle layer. It is composed of cardiac muscle fibers, cardiac and involuntary, responsible for contraction, that is called systole. When the heart contracts, it is called as systole, and when the heart relaxes, it is called as a diastole. So it shows this rhythmic contraction of systole and diastole, that is contraction and relaxation. Then the inner layer is called as the endocardium. Can you see here the innermost layer? This is endocardium. It is composed of single layer of flat squamous epithelium cells called endothelium, which forms the inner lining of the myocardial. Then external structure of the heart. Now external structure, the heart looks like this. Okay, so this is a human heart. You can see here it is aorta, superior vena cava, then you can see inferior vena cava, then these are the right pulmonary veins, atrium, left pulmonary vein, left atrium, left pulmonary artery, and this is the left ventricle. So this is the external structure of the human heart. You can see in this figure now. Human heart, position of the human heart. It is present in between the thoracic cage. Okay, thoracic cavity. Then here left atrium. Now this human heart, it consists of 4 chambers. Okay, first one is left atrium, right atrium, left ventricle and right ventricle. These are the major 4 chambers of the heart. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Left atrium, right atrium, left ventricle and right ventricle. Okay, these are the 4 chambers of the heart. Human heart consists of, again you can see, two superior smaller thin receiving chambers which are called as the atrial. I told you this is called as atria or auricle, and 2 inferior large thick walled distributing chambers, it is called as a ventricle. These are the 2 ventricles. They are the thick walled distributing chambers which are called as ventricles, and atria, they are the thin small receiving chamber. They receive the blood. Now next one, external groove is present in between the 2 atria and the ventricles. It is called as a atrioventricular groove. Okay, atrioventricular groove. A groove is present in between the atria and the ventricles. It is called as a atrioventricular groove. Okay, then the next one is the interventricular sulcus is present between the right and left ventricles. Then in these sulci situated coronary arteries and coronary veins. Now you can see here coronary arteries. This is the third part, coronary vein. Now here this is coronary artery, this is coronary sinus. Okay, then this is the interventricular sulcus. Okay, this is the coronary sulcus. This is superior vena cava. Okay, then next one. Now in this sulci are situated coronary arteries and coronary veins. Now you can see here superior vena cava. Now this sulcus in which the coronary veins and arteries are situated. You can see here. Now blood supply to the heart. You can see here in this slide red color and the blue color. Okay. Now in this figure, first one is the major coronary arteries are there, and the next figure, this one, it is a major cardiac veins. Okay. Then the major coronary arteries, they supply oxygenated blood to the heart, while the coronary veins, they collect the deoxygenated blood from the heart. The coronary veins, they join to form the coronary sinus, which opens into the right atrium. Then next, now the right atrium, it is larger in size than the left atrium. Now this is the right atrium here. This right atrium, it is larger in size than the left atrium. This is the left atrium. The right atrium, it receives the deoxygenated blood from all over the body through superior vena cava. This is the superior vena cava. And inferior vena cava. This is the inferior vena cava. Again I repeat, the right atrium receives the deoxygenated blood from all over the body through the superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. Left atrium, here, it receives the oxygenated blood through the two pulmonary veins. Now these are the two pulmonary veins, this one and this one. Okay, so these are the functions of right atrium and left atrium, or you can say the difference between the right atrium and left atrium. Okay, next. Now, from the right ventricles arises pulmonary trunk. Now atrium we have finished. Now this part is the ventricles. Now two ventricles are there. This is the right ventricle, this is the left ventricle. Now we are talking about the right ventricle. The right ventricle arises from the pulmonary trunk, and which carries deoxygenated blood to the lungs. Now it carries the deoxygenated blood to the lungs to get purified, to get oxygenated. Okay. Then from the left ventricle arises systemic aorta. Okay, which carries oxygenated blood to all over the body. The pulmonary trunk, here this is the pulmonary trunk, and systemic aorta, this systemic aorta. It is connected to the ligamentum arteriosum that represents a remnant duct arteriosus of fetus. A remnant means remaining. It represents remnant of ducts arteriosus of the fetus, means remaining part of the fetus. Now here you can see the ventral view of the heart. Ventrally, how does the heart looks, human heart? This is the aorta. Then you can see the pulmonary arteries. This is the pulmonary arteries. Here it is a coronary artery. Okay, this is the superior vena cava. This is inferior vena cava. This is right ventricle. This is left ventricle. Here it is right atrium. Here it is left atrium. Okay. Then dorsal view of the heart. Dorsal, you can see the heart. It looks like this. Dorsal means the back side of the heart. Now you can see the superior vena cava. Here it is going down, forming it. Inferior vena cava. This is the aorta. Left pulmonary artery. Then you can see the pericardium, pulmonary trunk. Then auricle of left atrium. Now these are the left coronary artery. Then you can see the left marginal artery. Then you can see diagonal artery, anterior interventricular artery, then great cardiac vein. This is the left ventricle, apex, right ventricle. Okay, right ventricular veins. These are the veins. Conus arteriosus. This is the right coronary artery. Here it is coming out. Right atrium. Okay, so this is the dorsal view of the human heart. Then internal structure of human heart. Now internal structure we are going to study of human heart. Internal structure of human heart. Internally the heart is four chambered, 2 atria and 2 ventricles. Okay, these are the 2 atria. Right atrium, left atrium. This is left atrium and left ventricle. Okay, these are the 4 chambers. Right atrium, right ventricle. Left atrium, left ventricle. Okay, then now we shall see what is atria. Okay, this is atrium. Atria or atricle. The atria are thin-walled receiving chambers placed superiorly and separated from each other by the interatrial septum. Okay, they are separated. This is the atrial septum. Now this one, which is separated from each other, left and right. Next one, the right atria receives the deoxygenated blood all over the body through the superior vena cava. This is superior vena cava, and inferior vena cava. This is through the coronary sinus. Next one, the opening of inferior vena cava, it is guarded by Eustachian valve. Now these valves, they are guarding the opening of the inferior vena cava. Here, the inferior vena cava. Okay, Eustachian valve. Then the next one is, while the opening of the coronary sinus, it is guarded by Thebasian valve. Okay, you can see here the valves, Eustachian valve. This one is, okay, Eustachian valve. Then it is guarded by the coronary sinus. It is called as a wall of Thebasian. Okay. Then oval depression, the fossa ovalis. Here, the oval depression, the fossa ovalis, is present on the right side of the interatrial septum. Fossa ovalis. Next one, it represents the remnant of foramen ovale, an opening in the interarterial septum of the fetus. Okay, so this is the figure of the showing the Eustachian valve, Thebasian, then tricuspid valve, bicuspid valve here, semilunar valves, chordate tendency, papillary muscles, left ventricle here, they are showing. Okay. Next. Now the left atrium receives oxygenated blood from the lungs through 4 openings of the pulmonary valves. Each atrium opens into the ventricle of its side through the atrioventricular aperture. Okay, atrioventricular aperture. It is guarded by valves made up of connective tissue. The right atrioventricular valve had 3 flaps, which is called as a tricuspid valve. Here, it is called as the right atrioventricular valve. It is guarded by 3 flaps. It is called as a tricuspid valve here. And while left atrioventricular valve has 2 flaps, which is called as a bicuspid valve or mitral valve. These valves are attached to the pulmonary muscles of the ventricles by the chordate tendency. This is the chordate tendency. Okay, this chordate tendency. This is the tricuspid valve, and this is the bicuspid valve. The chordate tendency prevents the valves from turning back into the atria during the contraction of the ventricles. Now, what is the function of this chordate tendency, which is present here? It prevents the backflow of blood, okay, which is turning back into the atria. This is the atria side, when the ventricles are contracting. Then ventricles. Now these are the ventricles. The ventricles are thick-walled distributing chamber. They distribute the blood. Distributing chambers placed inferiorly and separated from each other by interventricular septum. Now this is the interventricular septum. This here you can see. Interventricular septum. These are the 2 ventricles. Right ventricle, left ventricle, which is separated by the interventricular septum. Now, left ventricle has thickest wall, and it has to pump blood to all parts of the body. Okay, it is thickest wall because it has to pump the blood to all parts of the body. Next one is the inner surface of the ventricle. It is thrown into series of irregular muscular ridges called as a columnae or trabeculate carni. Now these are the ventricles. You can see it is thrown into a number of folds, which is called as a columnae carni. Next, pulmonary trunk or aorta arises from the right ventricle. Here you can see pulmonary aorta, it arises from the right ventricle, arising deoxygenated blood, carrying deoxygenated blood to the lungs for oxygenation. Systemic aorta arises from the left ventricle, arising left ventricle, carrying oxygenated blood to all parts of the body. Now this pulmonary aorta and systemic aorta has 3 semilunar valves. Now here they have shown 1, 2 and 3. These are the 3 semilunar valves. Here you can see these. Okay, at the base, which prevents the backflow of blood during the ventricular diastole. Okay, so here we have studied the structure of heart, then internal structure of the heart, morphology of the heart, then we have studied the atria and ventricles. Okay, so tomorrow we shall study the next topic. Thank you.